guidance and tools for industry. There's been various communiques that have come out of the Natural Health Products Directorate this quarter to industry. This one is with respect to natural health products that contain gluten, and this is a result of proposed amendments to the food regulations regarding the labeling of allergens, and the Natural Health Products Directorate comes to look at established policies when creating ones for natural health products. So this is because of concern with certain segments of the population that have sensitivities to gluten and the need to label gluten sources on product labels. So this communique deals with sources of gluten in natural health products, whether they are medicinal or non-medicinal ingredients, and it's to enable consumers with celiac disease or wheat allergies to make informed choices and purchasing decisions. So gluten is proposed to be defined as any gluten protein coming from any of wheat, spelt, kamut, oats, barley, rye, and triticale. So they're looking at intentionally added versus unintentionally added gluten. If your product is labeled as gluten-free, it must not contain any wheat, spelt, kamut, oats, barley, rye, or triticale, or any part thereof. And these ingredients, if they are present, must be clearly identified on the label. If there is a potential for cross-contamination or a product is labeled as gluten-free and found to contain more than 20 parts per million of gluten, then action will be taken. That's the limit that's deemed to be achievable with good manufacturing practices and the prevention of cross-contamination. As well, where other claims relating to other food allergens are made on natural health products label, the reference point will be the approach for food allergies, food allergens that is used by Health Canada. So they'll be looking at the food policies to determine whether any claims are misleading or false. And this is where you can find the document on the Health Canada website. The next communique that came out was with regards to natural health products containing synephrine. So when restrictions came out a few years back on the use of ephedrine and epinephrine in natural health products, synephrine was used as a replacement ingredient, largely due to its structural resemblance to ephedrine and epinephrine. However, following a safety review of synephrine, the potential for cardiovascular toxicity was identified, and guidelines were drafted by Health Canada to minimize the risk to consumers. So basically, it's looking at a maximum limit of 30 milligrams per day for total synephrine and octopamine. Octopamine is related chemically and pharmacologically to synephrine, so it's lumped in the same boat. So currently, there's insufficient published clinical evidence to establish a safe level for synephrine and caffeine combination products. So unless you're able to come up with sufficient clinical evidence, product combinations of synephrine and caffeine will not be allowed. As well, there's a duration of use statement that is required because there's insufficient information to establish the safety of long-term use of synephrine products. Also, risk information is required for products containing more than 3 milligrams of synephrine per day. If your product contains less than or equal to 3 milligrams synephrine plus octopamine on a daily dose, you do not need risk information because it's based on a long history of safe use of bitter orange and traditional Chinese medicines at a similar dose. And again, where you can find the information regarding natural health products containing synephrine. As well, in January of this year, there was a notice posted regarding product license applications for natural health products containing probiotics. The purpose of the notice was to clarify basic concepts and help ensure successful product license applications for natural health products containing probiotics. This information was provided as a follow-up to the probiotic monograph that was published in 2009. Within this document, it was noted that Health Canada has adopted the WHO, the World Health Organization, and Food and Agriculture Organization definition for probiotics. The use of the monograph only applies to pharmaceutical dosage forms, so pills, capsules, tablets. Food format NHPs are specifically exempted from use of the monograph. However, they will be evaluated on a case-by-case basis to determine whether they are foods or natural health products. As well, the Food Directorate has published guidance documents regarding the use of probiotics in foods. We've got the document, the use of probiotic microorganisms in foods, as well as accepted claims about the nature of probiotic microorganisms in foods. So those can be found on the Food Directorate website. Of significance in the notice, the key points were the need to distinguish between species, for example, Lactobacillus acidophilus, and the strain, which would be in this example, Lactobacillus acidophilus BA.B.1. So you need to differentiate between the strain and the species. You must also have the strain indicator on the product license application and on your label. If it's missing on one or the other, it is considered to be a deficiency. Safety and efficacy must be strain specific and must be demonstrated in humans. You can use in vivo and market history as supporting evidence, but it is not acceptable as standalone evidence for safety or efficacy. The change in strain is also considered to be a fundamental change to medicinal ingredients and will require a new product license application to be submitted. So again, you can find the probiotics monograph as well as the notice regarding product license applications for probiotics at this spot on the Health Canada website. There's also a document, the Labeling Requirements Checklist, that although on the website it actually is dated April 2009, it was not posted until March 18th of this year, so you can take your pick of the dates. The purpose of this document is to help ensure applicants are in compliance with all packaging and labeling requirements as per the regulations. They identify all required information for inner and outer labels in small packages, so you can go through the checklist and make sure you've got all the necessary information on your label and your package to ensure compliance. Advertising is not reviewed by the Natural Health Products Directorate. It is the responsibility of the applicant to ensure compliance with the regulatory requirements, and specifically that the advertising does not contravene Section 9 of the Act, which refers to false, misleading, deceptive advertising, as well as any advertising that might create an erroneous impression regarding the character, value, quantity, composition, merit, or safety of the product. Other tools that you can use to ensure that your packaging labeling is in compliance is the labeling guidance document, the product licensing guidance document, the Natural Health Products Regulations, the Food and Drugs Act and Regulations, consumer advertising guidelines for marketed health products, and guidelines for cosmetic advertising and labeling. So these are all tools that are available to you to help ensure the compliance of your packages and labels. And again, the website where you can find this document